Last night, 15th March, in my dream, I was preaching this message with such vigor. I was passionate about it to a crowd of people. So when I woke up, I said, God will not show me this dream for nothing. And since I'm not going to preach it in church, let me replicate it. I wish there was a way I could video it, film it in my dream, and just upload it. But I'm praying that the Holy Spirit will bring to my memory everything that I preached in the dream. So my text was taken from Proverbs 14:1. I'm reading it from the Bible. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. I remember when I was young, there was a man who went to his wife. This is a true story, and told her that all his friends have got second wives. So he is going to marry a second wife. The woman did not say anything. He went to work the next day. He came back. When he drove into the compound, the wife ran outside to meet him. She was dressed up. She was like, where's the wife? Where's the wife? Where's the wife? The man said, I told you yesterday. That doesn't mean she's coming today. The woman said, oh, I've tidied the house. I've cooked food. I was expecting my rival. She went away disappointed. Every single day when the husband comes back from work, she will rush to meet him. Where's the wife? Where's the wife? Where's the wife? And this carried on for about a month. So the man now confided in his friend. I don't know what's wrong with my wife. This is what I told her. This has been her reaction. The friend said, what? She didn't shout. She didn't scream. She wasn't angry. She didn't cry. He said, no. She's actually looking forward to me bringing this new wife home. So the friend said, the only advice I can give you is don't marry a second wife. Because when our friend, this one married, the first wife, there was a lot of trouble in the house. There was screaming. There was crying. She broke a lot of things. Do you remember when this one also married the second wife? The first wife was warring and, fighting. Not one of the wives just kept quiet and accepted it. So your wife's behavior is very strange. And that was how the man did not marry a second wife. This is a true story. I knew the couple. Proverbs 14:1. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. There are so many examples like that. There was a couple I knew. The man had a girlfriend, extramarital affair. And he told his wife at home that he's planning to marry her. So he's going to bring her on a visit. Either the wife likes it or not. The wife said, no. If you bring that woman here, there will be trouble. She confided in her best friend. I knew the woman, I knew the husband, I knew the best friend, but I did not know the extramarital girl. She confided in her best friend. The best friend said, let her come and visit. Let her see how the house is. While she's outside, your husband is spending money on her, taking her to the best restaurants. They are keeping in the best hotels. He's giving her money. He's buying her stuff. She might think that's how it will continue after she gets married to him. Let her come and visit so she can see exactly how you guys are living. So the woman said, okay, let her come and visit. The man was happy. Men sometimes. He was happy. On the day she came to visit, there was no food in the house. Immediately the children saw their dad arrive with this woman. They ran to him crying. They were not even wearing any clothes. Daddy, 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 we've not eaten all day. The dad said, hey, where's your mom? The woman came out. Oh, she said, hello, my sister. You didn't leave money for us this morning. It's not the first time. There's no food. The man said, oh, what about the money I gave you 2 weeks ago? The woman said, it's finished. All the children, they eat a lot. There's no food. The man said, okay, I don't have money now. Don't have money now. The children were crying. The wife was saying, well, we need to eat. There was no electricity. The man said, switch on the light. The woman said, you haven't paid the bill. There is no electricity. They've disconnected it. The lady, she sat there quietly. She was looking. She did not say a word. But afterwards, she told the man, I'm sorry. I'm not going to marry you. So what I'm seeing outside, that's not how you are indoors. That was how she ran for her life and did not marry this man. She would have come there to suffer. True story. Proverbs 14:1. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. There's one thing that men love, and that is respect. There was a reality show on the telly. This celebrity couple, I liked both of them, so I watched it. At the end of that show, the man divorced the woman because of disrespect. The way she was talking to him, the way she was talking about him, all of this with cameras all over their homes. At the end, you could see this man. He just said, no, I can't take this anymore. Why does she talk to me like this? They got divorced. If they had not done that reality show, they had 2 kids. They would have still been married. Even if she was disrespectful, it would be at home, not on camera, where millions of people were watching. So that respect. There was a story I was told in a church. A pastor shared it to us. There was a king, a very fierce king. Everybody was scared of him. He said one day he was having a shower. He called his wife to come and scrub his back. And the woman came. So she was scrubbing his back. While she was scrubbing it, she was smacking him on the bottom. Is this it? This is what everybody is afraid of. I can see you now in all your glory. And everybody, when they see you, they will be shivering. They will be running away. They will be on the floor. But this is you. The king did not say anything. Later, he sent the messengers to go and call his father-in-law, his wife's dad. They called him. He called the wife, come. I will show you today why people are scared of me. I will show you why people think I am fierce. And he ordered his men to behead his father-in-law. The woman screamed. They cut off her father-in-law's head in her presence. The king said, now, do you see why I am fierce? She knelt down. She never disrespected him again. You see the level that king took it to because she disrespected him. Proverbs 14:1. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. I've seen an instance where 2 women were fighting. One got the upper hand over the other one because one will always be stronger. That wife waited for her husband to come back from home. The man came back. He is tired. He's hungry. The woman said, before you eat, you need to go and fight with that woman. She beat me today. The husband, he went. He called the woman out. He started cursing her down, shouting at her. That woman's husband was indoors. He heard the commotion. He came out. Both men started fighting. The man who just came back from work was killed. That his wife sent him to his death. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. I once asked my husband, if somebody beats me, would you go and fight for me? He said no. He doesn't want to get beaten up. He will go and beg them and say she's sorry. He will go and beg, please forgive her. But he will not go and fight because he doesn't want them to beat him. He doesn't know how to fight. He's not a fighter. She sent her husband to his death. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. As women, we need to be wise. If you know your husband has a temper, you don't need to tell him some things that will make his blood boil. I know of some women, they know their husband has a short fuse, but they will still tell him things and this man will rage. We need to be like Abigail. I have taught Abigail. You can check it out in 1 minute. And there's also a fuller version. When she was told what her husband had done, and David is coming with war to come and kill innocent people, she prepared food. She went and met David on the way. She knelt down. She apologized on behalf of her husband. She gave David the food, said, take this for you and your men. And David actually told her that he thanks God for sending her so that the bloodshed has been averted. If she hadn't gone, do you know what would have happened? So many people would have died. Women would become widows. children will become fatherless just because the man refused to give David and his men food. So she prepared the food. She didn't tell her husband that, yeah, why should you give him your hard-working food? Who the hell is he? And make things worse. She went. It was later she told her husband what could have happened. And when the husband died, David married her. She had a son with David called Daniel. Not that Daniel, another Daniel. She was a wise woman. Proverbs 14:1. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. There was a man in Kaduna in the north of Nigeria. Her husband lost his job. He was looking for work. So every morning he goes out job hunting. But the people she lived with, they lived in a communal compound. They all thought he was going to work. So when he was leaving in the morning, they would say, bye, enjoy your work. He would say, thank you. They didn't know he'd lost his job. And because they have a communal kitchen, if she stays indoors all day without coming to cook, the neighbors, nosy neighbors, will wonder, why hasn't she come out to cook today? So she was taking her pot, filling it with water. She would go into the communal kitchen and sit down there tending water. She would sit there 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Then she will carry it. While she's going back to her room, the neighbors will be saying, I'm coming to eat. Let me come and taste your food. She will laugh. There is no food there. It was water. When she gets into her room, she will sit down and cry and cry and cry. Eventually, after about 3 months, the husband got a job. But you see, at that point, she covered her husband. She didn't expose him out, that because she knew he was trying. It's not like he was lazy or a layabout or a vagabond. He was trying. So she had to cover him. Proverbs 14:1. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. And then he got a job. They lived fine. They lived okay. Later, the man died, but that was many years later. I don't know where the woman and her kids are now. It's been many years ago. But that's what she did. We women, we have the means and ways of cheering up our husbands. Make an idea. Sometimes just make him think it was his idea. They are like little boys. They will cheer up. I am not condoning abuse. Like your husband should be beating you up and you sit down there. I will not take it. So I'm not condoning that. But there are little things, cheer him up, boost his ego, oh, my chief, oh, my king. Sarah called her husband Lord. I'm not saying call him Lord. I'm not saying that at all. But just show the man some respect. Now, this was the message I preached in my dream. So I have replicated it here. So I'm praying that it helps somebody, even if it's one person. Because God doesn't reveal a dream for nothing. So that's my dream. God bless you. The miracles of Jesus will continue, God willing, tomorrow. God bless.